go to open homes like $1,000
cover, which is yung
Ang maipapayo.
And what is the implication?
so with kayang or
This thing and this thing, hindi talaga siya binahin for your Yay! More and more immigrants po ang dumarating dito sa New Zealand to live and grow their families here. And it's not just the Filipinos, but also the Indians and the Chinese. That's what I've recently heard. And of course, after moving, the next crucial step is planning how to get your first home here in New Zealand, right? Magandang gabi po sa lahat. I'm Judy of Grow Yourself, and we have
And I'm Mary Ann Honrubia, your previous real estate friend and like advisor. But at the end of the day, I can still help out with all of our kababayans who really wants to learn about either investing or buying their first home.
That's correct. Sinabi mo pa talaga na sa real estate. But yes, make it clear. Kasi lalo na sa mga hindi nila narinig last time that you've already left. Did you really leave or just pausing your having a break?
So I've never I didn't cancel my license. So pretty much it's suspended at the moment. So I have personally suspended my license. And so I can, with my knowledge, with my education regarding real estate, then I can still help out our kababayans who doesn't really understand the ins and outs of, buying their first home or even selling their home. I can help them out with the knowledge that I have ate, but then at the end of the day, I cannot sign documents. So pretty much I can't really do any real estate transaction. So every time I can give you a pointer, like I can guide you, but then at the end of the day, when it comes to like transacting as a real estate, I can bring you to the right people to work with. So that's what's good.
Kasi marami ng connection si Mary Ann. And of course, house is really a big thing because you're talking about big money, and it's a big thing. You don't want to just sign anywhere and then all of a sudden, oh no, you're in a big trouble when it comes to big money. So just like similar to moving to New Zealand, it's a big decision. Buying a home is also a big decision that you need to have a lot of information before making the final decision. So reach out to Mary Ann. You may also reach out to me, and we can set a date for us to sit down together if you just want to get more ideas and more personal. Anong tawag yun? Personal advice. Kasi mahirap dito na we don't really know their specific situation.
Yes, I think we've got quite a few of our viewers ate who has reached out to me, and they pretty much, some of them, they became my clients when I was still in real estate, and also some people are still in contact with me. I became friends with them na parang like maybe you should do this, maybe you should not, and like I know, like especially as what you've said ate, in real estate transactions it is better for you to find a person that you can really trust explaining the documents. That's like 21 pages of you signing your life away, so so you wouldn't want to actually risk it and just keep on signing a paper and a document you don't really understand. I know that me as a real estate agent before, I know that I'm not really it's not really my job legally to give you that advice, because you will have to have your own solicitor or your own lawyer. But at the end of the day, real estate agents should be honest enough for you to make you understand what is in that sales and purchase agreement, or what is in that like licensee agency agreement. Because at the end of the day, you don't like there are things as well, like let's just say 4 years time after you had a problem with the house that you've purchased before, and you don't even know the complaints process. Most agents doesn't even say that or tell you that how to do the complaints.
Maybe because they don't have time to explain everything, but not intentionally not.
To be very honest, ate, like I love my, my colleagues in real estate agent, and I know who are those agents who will give time, because at the end of the day, it is part, you are being paid so much, ate. How much is a commission for a real estate agent? It's like
I can
25,000, 30,000. We don't know because it's a transaction that you will be paying hundreds and hundreds or millions of dollars, you know? So I think that, well, I believe, I don't think, I believe that it's the work of the agent for you to make sure that the person they're selling it to, they're trying to sell the house, understand the whole process. That is according to also our code of, the code of conduct of real estate agents. So the real estate agent have to make sure that they are fair for both parties, the buyer and the seller. So I don't think that's a good, ate, like that's a good excuse to say that, oh, I don't have time, I have another meeting or something, you sign here, sign here, sign here. That's
hear
not
and
really it's not really a good excuse. So it should.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're right. You gotta take time to explain it to your clients. Although client mo rin naman yung vendor, and then of course the buyer, you should just treat everyone fairly and you
Yes.
know.
That's so true, ate. And I think like a lot of our kababayans, I have met quite a few of your kababayans, which is it's very, very sad to hear stories that they felt like, oh, we thought this agent is quite trustworthy because they promised this one, and this things. But and then at the end of the day, after they had a problem, let's just say they purchased a house, and that agent, sometimes even sometimes like they even speak the same language, but then that agent didn't explain to them the risks of the house they purchased. And then after they experience that, the problem at the issues in the house, they can't even find the real estate agent anymore. So what they're, like they don't, yeah, which is a very, very sad story. Every time I've met, I think 80% of the clients that I've worked with have the same experience. And that's the reason why they were a lot of consumers, a lot of normal, normal citizens of New Zealand, and maybe not just even in New Zealand, but I think a lot are actually, they don't really like real estate agents. They always think that real estate agents earn so much money, but at the end of the day, the customer service isn't actually there. I
I
think.
I totally agree with you. I've heard from fellow Filipinos as well who recently bought houses, and I was like interviewing them, asking them how did
Mm,
the journey went and how did the journey go, and then they said, "Nah, there was a good interaction between them and then the real estate."
agent.
Then after that, it's quite
Gone.
hard for them to reach out. So it's not nice because you're building. I'd say that's still your business and your service, and uh, it would be nice if you have a good
Yeah.
recommendation from your previous clients, right? But
Yes.
it is what it is. We can't really force everyone to do the
I
right
think
thing.
it's very, very, very sad, right, Ate? And especially like our job here with our show, NZ First Homebuyers Guides and Insights. I think what's good is that at least the kababayans who are watching, and not just our kababayans, but all the other ones who are watching right now, at least they should know now how they're supposed to be treated, and they have the rights as buyers actually, that you can either complain the people who are the right people to actually go to. If you have a very bad experience with a real estate agent, you can do that. And that's what I think. I know if you remember, at the attorney Maricel, um
Mm.
she loves how I also, help out with our clients, because they're very, very, like, if you don't know what's the ins and outs of the real estate industry, it's very hard to find someone you can really, really trust.
I know, right? Anyway, we'll be moving on to our main topic today, which is home equity. And this is something that is also very kind of interesting to me because when I first heard of this word equity, I was like, what is this?
What is it?
I lived the journey of buying my home, but I didn't fully understand this. So I thought, oh, maybe there's also a lot of our kababayan or maybe new immigrants who are also on the same page as I was before. So yeah, we will talk about home equity. What is this? How does this work? And how can we use this for our benefit?
Yes, yes, ate. Okay, so if you guys can remember, if you've been following our our episodes from the previous ones, I think we're almost half a year now, ate, no? Is it? I
Oh,
think
ang
so.
bilis.
Oh,
I can
actually,
really
almost a year. Almost a year now, I think, because
nakalimutan ko na
we're
kung kailan
35. We're episode 35 now, and we only have 52 weeks in a
yeah.
year. But
But
no, but you, yeah, okay. So Ate, we've had in our previous episodes, we kind of always mention equities, and I'm pretty sure some people don't wouldn't even understand what does equity mean. Like, I don't even know what equity means. Okay, so Ate is the one who chose this episode, which is very, very good. So what are actually the benefits of knowing about home equity? So very quick explanation, Ate. So equity in real estate is the value of the home that you actually already own when when you kind of paid off a bit of your mortgage. So let's just say, as an example, five like let's just say 500,000 is the easiest one, which is in your example. At 500,000 is the value of your home, and you paid off 300,000 out of that mortgage, the one that you borrowed. The 200,000 difference between the 500,000 and the 300,000 is the equity that you have actually that you can use.
that's right. I'm just calculating my equity at the moment.
Okay, what you also have to believe, like a really quick one as well. So I know that we will be talking about very like in the coming, like in the following minutes from now. As what I've mentioned, you can use the equity of your current home. Let's just say you have a home right now for 500,000, and you've paid off 200,000 out of that mortgage that you borrowed, the 500,000. Then you kind of have that equity, but you cannot use 100% of the equity that you've paid off.
Yun
So
lang.
you can only use, yes, you can only use 80% of that.
Mm. So yeah, kasi the equity will also depend on the current value of your home. So it doesn't mean that, oh, I bought my house for 800 last year, but then the house price now has gone down. Therefore,
Mm.
you may have less equity or no equity at all. That's what I've heard. I've heard from the news that a lot of home owners now who bought their house at the peak of the market are having negative equity. Have you?
Yes. Because yes, there are. I have some clients like that, ate, and they ended up either they're actually in contact with me, ate, because they know that I will give them the honest answer. They will
Okay.
they will always say that, Miriam, is it actually, in Tagalog, they talking to me in Tagalog, they were like, is it worth for us to actually sell our property at the moment, because we bought it at the hot market, we paid off 1.2 million, and then now going to to see what happened to the market, it's actually not worth 1.2 anymore, it's worth 900,000.
Mm.
And so, at the end of the day, ate, as what I've said, they've paid off, let's just say they've paid off 100,000 out of that, and the deposit, they've deposited another 100,000. Pretty much your 1.2 house, that 200,000 is gone,
Mm. If
because
you're
you can
going to
only sell.
if you
Yes,
sell it
if
now,
you go,
then lugi
you've
ka.
lost.
If you're going to wait, I'm pretty sure that's what they are saying anyway, that in the
Yes,
long run, it's the long process. And if you're just patient, you'll be able to earn actually. But if you have this like an impulsive heart, in other words,
yes,
like you make decisions straight away out of what you feel at the moment, then that will probably cost you more. So yeah, I
yes.
think just wait.
Just wait. So number one question. So every time they ask me that question, ate, number one question I ask them back is that, are you actually really having or experiencing hardship? Like, are you at that point in your life, in your financial life, that you cannot even hardly, buy some groceries? So I think that the main point in there is that if you can hold on to it, if you feel like you can still pay off your mortgage while you can still have, enough food for the family and still provide for everything, the basic necessity or needs of the family, then I think you just hold on. But if you think that you can't even, like you can't even buy groceries for your family, I think it is better to sell. Because at the end of the day, some of our kababayans who actually reached out to me about that, ate, is that whenever I ask them that question, they're like, oh, because, like we can't actually shop anymore. And then I'm
Oh.
like, just a few more sacrifices. Just wait for it. Maybe just hold on. Sacrifice your shopping, sacrifice your, travel. Because at the end of the day, you're like what you've said, Ate, you're looking on actually on the long run.
Mm.
This is gonna be, something that your kids will have in the future. Or when the market becomes better, you may be able to be actually coming getting back the same amount or more than amount.
Yeah, so we have just already started how equity works. So the first one is your initial purchase. So your deposit, that's your equity. But then again, it's probably like 10%. Oh, of course, the lowest I think with Kanga Ora is 5% deposit. Or we can also have the basic or a standard one, 10.
Standard is usually 10%.
And then the
But why
highest
you
that I've heard was 20 before, right?
Yes, yes, at that. So 20%. The 10% was is they're actually being given to first home buyers. So if we have a lot of our kababayans who are, first home buyers, and they can get, I know for a fact before that the investors, they will get a higher deposit, but if this is your first time, there are ways to get pre-approval in a lower deposit savings that you have. So just to make it clear as well, in a real estate transaction, when you're trying to buy, this percentage that me and Ate are talking about, it is actually on the initial application for an approval for a bank to lend you money. So if you go to a mortgage broker, that's why it's quite good to have a mortgage broker. The mortgage broker will help you if you only have 5%. Okay,
Mm.
so that's just a quick round, like talk about. I know it's out from the equity ate, but I think some people will be like, oh no, I only have 5% now, I can't afford. But mortgage broker can help you turn it around.
That's right. So the second one is the mortgage payment. So the first one is the deposit, of course, the initial purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And one to grow your equity is your mortgage repayments, which is done weekly or fortnightly or monthly. So a portion of it, usually in our case, a big portion of it goes to the interest. And so I
Yeah,
try my best to top up so that it lessen the principal. And once
as
the
well.
principal
Yes,
down, that means our equity goes up. So that's one
yes,
way of building your equity or how equity works, how you can
and
have.
yes, at the and then another tip is that if you go back to 2 weeks or 3 weeks of our episode, we have Kuya Rex Yap, who is a financial advisor. Getting financial advisor or a mortgage broker can help you, like what Ate is saying, is that the principal and the interest, like what is actually more beneficial for you. Would you actually rather want to put more payment for your principal and a little bit lesser on the interest? Or I think banks have those options out there, right? Did you have that option?
No, they just, after calculating with our current uh, interest rates, mortgage rates,
Hmm.
they tell us, oh, this is how much, at least how much you're going to pay us. So you should not give us a repayment lesser than that. But I made it higher. So, like, I rounded up so
Okay.
that more will be deducted from our principal. Yeah.
That's actually true. Okay. So like, okay, on the third one, ate, appreciation. So over time, when actually the market value, so in New Zealand, I think according to history, I'm not sure, maybe my friends who are real estate agents who are watching, then maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's like the pattern is like either 5 to 7 years, it changes again, the market changes. But if you follow the trend of real estate, it takes a little bit, a couple of years to actually do the appreciation of the value of your home. But one thing though for sure is that making sure that your house is in the best, best condition, it will
Yes.
appreciate your, yeah, it will appreciate the value of your home.
The for me, okay, because you know how I mentioned before that I asked for a valuator because we were wanted
Mm,
to sell our house and we want to know how much is the value after we've done some renovation and fixing around the property. And yeah, so far it went up because of the renovations we've done. But apart from the renovations, I think usually the land value goes up. As correct me if I'm
yes,
wrong.
yes,
But at
ate.
because the house market is down, what is usually the factor that affects its value?
Affects its value is how we actually do an appraisal for a property as a real estate agent. From my experience, is that what affects the value of your home is the current sold properties as well from the area. So it's the one who's actually gonna affect the value of your home. So how we do it is that, okay, now I'm looking at the bigger picture. This house, also a 3 bedroom property, it's sold for 800. This house, also a 3 bedroom property, it's only sold for 750. So now it's going in between the 800 and 750. But then the reason why us real estate agent would need to be in the house to do a proper inspection is that, okay, if that one sold, that 3 bedrooms in there sold for 800 and the 3 bedroom here sold for 750, what is the difference of your home in between of these two? So if your home is, is superior to the one that's 800, then now your 750 is kicked out because your house is more superior than the 800. But if your house is inferior to that 800, then you would be able to compare it with the 750. So it's
Mm,
that's the appreciation. It also depends as well, Ate, as what you've mentioned, the land value. So here in New Zealand, land values per suburb are different as well.
mm. And Clendon
So
is one
the
of the lowest.
size, yes, right, Ate? So like the size, yes, you may have, let's just say Glendon Park. Glendon Park may have the 700 square meter size of the house, but because of that suburb, it has a different value for the land than for a 700 square meter house in Glendon Park that you can buy for, I don't know, 750 to 800. You buy a 400 square meter land in Remuera, which is almost like 1.5 million, with the combination of, the land value is 900 as to compare to the land value of Glendon, which is around 500. So yeah, it depends on the suburbs as well, I think.
Thank you for that clarification. And another, yeah, we let's move on to how can we really cut the here. Well, like what I've said, making extra payments, right?
Yes.
So aside from your repayments, which you are regularly paying, make extra payment so long as you follow the rules of the bank or the lender that the rules that they have set when you first acquire the house. Yeah. Para walang
Yes.
fee.
Yeah, I think like one of our guests before, Ateno, what she said, I think she is paying more than how much she should be paying fortnightly,
Mm.
I think. So I think it also is, there are also ways that you can also do a different timing for your payment, which makes it, you save this much of money in, in the long run.
And also the lump
Yeah,
sum. My bonus card. I think we've mentioned that last week as well. If they are
yeah,
just like,
last week.
but yeah, we'll keep on repeating that one because if they keep on hearing it, they will remember it. It's just the same at school. We call it like a drill. we always do a drill so that it will remind the kids of how to do things. Say, for example,
Yes.
the same way here, we keep on repeating that one, although we have already mentioned it. So sorry if you've been following us and we keep on repeating it. It's because for others as well who have missed the episodes. And again, making extra payments is one thing, it's one way of building your equity. So instead of spending it on something that you can probably sacrifice a little bit, and just put it in your extra payments, because later we will know the benefits of building the equity. Find out later. The
Yes, that's so true. Hmm?
aside from making extra payments, we can also, yeah, instead of buying dresses or something, what I did, DIYer naman ako, ayan, I do quite a lot of improvements at home. So, yun, naging impact sa value of our property. Yeah.
Yeah. So as what you've said, mentioned at the home improvement. So investing in more of the things that, because I think what we have to think and realize, Ate, is that our home, once you own a home, that is your biggest investment in life. That's your biggest asset, you know. You would want to actually look after that, because at the end of the day, it is something that, comparing it to buying perfumes, ouch. Buying perfumes, perfume, it actually, you use it, you consume it, it goes
It's
away, or the scent goes away, right, ate? And then another thing is, I think what a lot of Filipinos are, and also not Filipinos, I think Asian or maybe human thing as well, buying a
yeah.
car,
Oh
like
dear.
a brand new car, it depreciates, once you actually
Mm.
get out of the casa, it already depreciates.
Mm.
Houses, I think this is, like, for me and Steven, I know that we don't have our house yet. As what I've mentioned, we are actually living in a family home. But if we have our own house, I would literally stop every other spending of anything that I want, is because I want to improve the house, because at it is something that we can leave for our kids, and by that time it would be enough for them to either split it by their own, rather than buying something that depreciates. So improving your home.
Because you've mentioned already the car, and I know I've heard quite a few immigrants, Filipino immigrants to be specific, that on their first year they're buying quite expensive car, which for me is not really a good choice. That's just for me. We didn't buy brand new cars even up to the moment. Up to last
Yes,
year, we bought our new car, but it's not a brand new one. It's a second hand one still. It's because of the idea that it depreciates. Okay.
appreciates.
If
Yes,
your first
it,
time here in New Zealand, you don't want to invest more of your money on something that depreciates,
that's so true.
especially on work visa, because you're still not sure of
Yeah.
what lies ahead. So
That's
yeah.
so true. It's the same thing as Ate. Like, I think when I came in here, I didn't buy a car until I got promoted as a sales manager. I didn't buy a
Yes.
car. I didn't buy a car. I was just, catching bus and everything like that. But up until I became the sales manager, then I really need to be always like on call,
Mm.
in our store at Auckland International Airport. So I bought a very cheap one, the Honda Fit. I think that's all
Oh, yeah, yes.
3,000.
Yeah.
$3,000, ate.
Hindi ba
So,
yun yung laging nananakaw, Honda Fit daw?
no, I think that's Toyota. Sabi ni Steven, Aqua daw. Parang
Ah,
Aqua
Aqua.
palagi. Nakawin daw, nakawin. So, I was like, but it's cheap.
Yeah, that's true. My husband also bought his first car here for 1,000.
Yeah,
1,000.
see, I think at the end of the day, as long as it takes you from A to Z, that's fine. So I think that's fine. So anyway, moving on.
Is and the next
Building
one
equity.
is another the way of, is this like, yeah, how to build your equity is when you read the house market. Is that it? Once it's hot, then
Yeah,
it's more likely to you're building an
to
equity.
increase.
Yes.
Yes, pretty much, ate. I always joke around when I was in real estate. Even till now, I'm still in connection with all my colleagues in real estate. But it's almost like a poker game, ate. You'll never know. when you're actually gonna win, you kind of have to hold on to your cards really close to your chest, because you wouldn't want to. It's like a gamble at it. Like a lot of my friends who are investors, they actually sold. Oh, maybe this is the best time to sell it, and then bam, it became hot market. They lost 200,000 of selling it. You know, like although they still made money because they bought the house in 2016, buying a house in 2016 in Weymouth that would cost them 600, she was able to sell it for 950 in 2020, so she still made money. But imagine if she would have waited till 2021, it went to $1 million, you
Mm,
know.
I know. You cannot tell actually. So yeah, it's like life is a poker game.
Yeah,
Same
it's like a gamble. Yeah.
real property investing, it's the same. So moving on to ano nga ba yung benefit nito?
Benefits.
Really have to build home equity. Well, for me, I don't want to retire with a big debt. And I don't want my kids, of course, to pay my own debt. I would like to actually hand it over to them. Yung parang, I want to retire with no debts, no bills to worry about.
Yeah.
Yung ganun. Kasi malaki din ang babayaran mo if you still have your mortgage.
That's so true, Ate. Okay, so financial security, as what you've said, um I know what you're trying to say is that how my in-laws are feeling, they purchased the house way back, so now they're mortgage free, and
Wow.
so they know that there's something that they can live with the kids, and I think that it is a financial security, not just for you. You know that no one's gonna kick you out. It is your home.
Yeah.
It's something you really own that no one can take away from you.
That's true. Because come to think of it, every month when we moved here to Auckland, we were paying 500 plus something for a three-bedroom house because we used to live in the farm where water is free, rent is free. We just
Mm,
paid. So when we move here, it's like, wow, what a big pain. And we know already that we are actually paying someone else's mortgage. So why not save as much as we can? That's why we just rented a cheaper house. Kahit na
mm,
magsiksikan kami doon, basta makasave lang kami kahit ilang bucks. And that's
yes,
one for us to be able to save and buy our first home. Because we'd rather pay our mortgage than pay someone else's mortgage. Top
that's
up na
so
lang.
true. That's so true. Kasi parang, so if you were paying $500 a week, ate, so that's gonna be 2,000 in a month. How much are you paying off now in your mortgage?
Ay, kasi nilakihan ko eh, 2,000 a fortnight. So it's like 4,000 a month. Nilakihan ko
Okay, and then
para,
because and also taking in consideration the interest rates right now, right? So it's a little bit higher. But during
yeah.
the time that when you purchase it, ate, the interest rates is quite, it's easy.
Yes.
It's quite
So
light.
our rent that time was 520. And then when we moved to our first home, it was just 600 something. So it's like
Mm.
100 on top of it. Why
Yeah.
not?
See? Imagine, and then you know that in, I don't know, 30 years, that's gonna be
Yeah,
your
in the
own or
long
your
run,
kids'
you
own.
have that house. Yes,
That's
that's
the
right.
thing. See? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we're
that's one of the benefits of having this. And another benefit of home equity, you can actually, like what I mentioned earlier, a little bit of it, you can borrow against your equity for some expenses you may need, either an emergency, a renovation, or even, like medical emergency bill, or even something like, let's just say I know that there would be
hello.
insurance, but if something happens, opo, biglang may bagyo,
Oh,
bumagsak ang
yes.
bahay mo or something, you
I
can
think that's
borrow.
the insurance, pag ganyan.
You can, but there will
You
be
can also
excess as well. Yeah, you also have to
yes.
pay for excess, right,
Okay.
ate?
So, utangin mo rin yung excess na kunin mo sa bangko. But
That's
what we
so
have
true.
paid last year from our equity was our car loan.
That's good. And then it's in just consolidated in
Yeah.
one loan.
Yes,
That's
yes. So, cheaper ang interest kasi compared mo sa mga kasa, anong tawag diyan? When you buy it.
19%.
Oh, dear
Mine
me. So,
was 19%.
yeah, when it was moved to our home loan, it's just $6, 6%.
6%.
Malaking savings. That's it. If you have your equity, kasi the bank will also have a look whether you can borrow from your equity or not. So yeah,
Mm.
happy that we're able to. And also, if you want to upgrade, like put up heat pump or insulate
Mm.
your home or any renovation that you think will make your life more comfortable, so long as you have the bank, the lender will say, oh, you can borrow this much from your equity, and yep, good to go.
Yes, that's so true, ate. And then what's the number three, ate? Um, so I'm this one I haven't been very familiar because I am not in that, in that same situation. Is does this happen to you, ate? Better loan terms if you are actually you have good credits of repayment of your
Um,
equity.
we had Paula last time, right? And I always negotiate with Paula, and because she's seeing not just our ability to pay our repayments, but as well as our consistency. And she has been seeing the lump sum that we're paying if we can, and then on top of what they are requiring us. And so she was able to negotiate with us a better mortgage interest, because I know last time when we renewed it, it was around 7% for with ANZ, but then she was able to give us around six something percent. So that was really a good deal. So you can
That's
negotiate.
Yeah, and I think like once you build your equity, you kind of have the upper hand as well, and then the bank will be like, you know what, you've actually have a very good record,
Mm.
like they will give you that kind of certainty, like you, ate. Another thing is that this is my very very favorite part, ate, of having a really good equity, is that you can actually use the equity in buying your next home. So
That's
I'm totally the opposite of most agents that I actually don't want them to sell house. Like my clients, I'm like, don't sell your house, build your
having equity and buy a new
portfolio.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell it instead. I know. I've heard it from you as well. And that's quite true. If only because during the hot market, that was 2022, right? 2022.
Yes.
And a lot of Filipino who have their own homes already, when they came here, they were like, "Oh, your house at the moment maybe around 800." And we were like, "Oh, that sounds really good because we just bought it for 600 something." But
Mm.
because if it was 800, I would say we have a big equity already that we
Yeah.
can use to buy our first home. But then we cannot afford to do repayments at that time, and we don't want to get stuck and have trouble. So yeah, we just waited until the house market went down. It's so sad, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And the thing is, like, okay, so just to make everyone feel okay, 2020, everyone that I've talked to, even the experts in real estate, 2020 and 2021 got so crazy. It went out of hand. Like, it was a crazy, crazy market. A lot of real estate agents became millionaires because of, the hot
Really?
market, a lot at it.
Hindi ko
And I
sana
was like, oh, maybe
bitiwan.
I was too late.
What year did you start?
No, actually, I started ate. If I followed my intuition that time, I always wanted to be a real estate agent in 2017. So 2017, the big real estate agent right now that I was lucky and privileged enough to work with, like Jay Singh, my team leader before Ate that you've met as well. He started on that same age, like same time, 2016, 2017. And that was when the market was kind of booming. The real estate industry in New Zealand is actually booming. Kathy May also, like one of our good friend, Kathy May, I think she started in 2016 or 2015, and she went really really good because the market was actually growing that time. And then come 2020 and 2021, bam, it went just like crazy. I think because of COVID, everyone, Kiwis are actually naturally, travelers, and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars to travel. And I think what we felt during the 2020 and 2021, because it's COVID, no one really go out. Like,
Mm, they
we
saved
were
all.
just so, yes, ate, and we were so shocked. My very first sale, um the very first listing that I have was during the lockdown, and buyers are just viewing it through video call.
Wow. Oh yeah, yeah. Just to be safe, because
Yes.
of the restrictions anyway.
Yes. So it was a crazy market. No one can actually explain why, but we felt like maybe they have so much money because they're not traveling anymore.
Probably, and it's because of the mortgage low mortgage interest, mortgage rate at that
Yes.
time. You grab that
Yes.
opportunity.
So there is what a term we call FOMO, so fear of missing out. And so everyone felt like, oh my gosh, I have to buy a house right now because the stocks are not enough. So the reason why is that the stocks are not enough. The because the interest rate is quite down, right? It actually went all the way to 2% sometimes, like something around
Yeah,
two
just
or three
availing on
percent.
3%.
Yes, yes,
So
3%. So the stocks are not enough, and there's just so many buyers, so of
mm,
course that's going to push up the prices of the house. But then now there's just so much stocks and not enough buyers because of the interest rates.
uh, oh, geez, I'm just waiting for my money actually so that I can buy. If only again, if only we have the money to buy the next property. But at the moment, wala pa eh. So yeah, let's move on. We're gonna have ano ba nga ba ang risk, when about this home equity. If you are
Well,
borrowing big amount from
yeah.
your home equity, anong risk nito? You
Well, the
borrowing.
hard thing is that of course the repayment out there, right? Like, if we what we don't what we don't know is that what we cannot actually predict is what's going to happen to us, so like, I remember the time that I lost my job because our company closed down. Imagine how many people, if I would have a mortgage that time, I think my
Yes,
insurance would have helped because I have that bill cover, but
the
it's never going to
income.
be enough. Yes, ate.
Plus, the interest is always a variable. So always consider not to top up on your home loan. Instead, top up on the payment so that you will have more
Yes.
equity. And then during the emergency, you can also use that one, I would say.
And I
And
think ate,
mm,
a quick one. I always tell this to our kababayans and to my buyers. Don't, just because the bank tells you that, oh, you can borrow as much as this, don't overmax it.
yeah,
Don't max it, because you'll never know. Yeah, you just never know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
that is so true. So always balance everything. At least you know that there's something that you can avail from your
Mm.
equity, especially when you are in need. So, parang ano mo na rin siya, savings mo, no? Ay,
Yes, yes, ate.
para meron kang
Mm,
magalaw in case of emergency because you'll never know. All right. And that's
that's
it
true.
for tonight. Home equity is really an asset. So it's not just your house, but of course, well, all in all, it's still the house we're talking about. So build your equity and lessen the interest that you are paying.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Okay. If you've got any questions out there, right? Like, if you've got any questions, I know that I may not be licensed at the moment, but I may be able to help you, or maybe able to bring or guide you to the right person to talk to.
Nice. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone you are able to understand, although we were speaking in English, but feel free to reach out to us and we can speak in
In Tagal.
Tagalog, explain this better. But I reckon a lot of our kababayans anyway can understand at least basic English. But it's a matter of accent. I know people here have different accents, but as Filipinos, we kind of understand each other for whatever reason.
So true.
America.
What's good
So
at
yeah.
what's good is that our video can be paused and rewind because you're saving it in your website.
Yes, yes. On my YouTube channel, there's a playlist, New Zealand First Home Buyers Guide and Insight. So there were also our fellow kababayan who were reaching out to me. Do you have this topic? Da da da. And I was like, have a look at my playlist because if you click that one, then you will see all the episodes lined up accordingly from I think four because the first three episodes we had it on Facebook and I haven't moved that
True.
one to YouTube. It's because I wasn't using StreamYard yet. And now that I'm using StreamYard, I'm actually paying for it. And I'm actually spending money instead of earning, but that's fine. That's it helps our
As
fellow.
long as we help. Yes.
I think that's just one way of helping them because, like in my case before, I would greatly appreciate getting these ideas from others.
Mm.
Uh, but what I did was like read and read and read and approach people who are expert
Mm.
on this particular area. But it's good that we have me and we have Mary Ann talking about this every Wednesday. Yeah. And you can ask us
Definitely.
questions now, but we're closing, or next time, or feel free to flick us a message, of course. Thank
Yes, and
you.
I'm going to Philippines next week,
Ah,
so be with Ate.
yeah. Have a safe trip. Ilang weeks ka
Thank
doon?
you.
Two
Only
weeks?
2 weeks, Ate. I just needed to do an emergency documentations and stuff in the Philippines, but just in any case, at least I know that Ate can help you talk about some topics, and I think Ate will have some exciting guests while I'm away.
Yes, another Filipina who will be joining me, and she's an expert on mortgages. So similar to the work of Sanjeev, who have been our guests for several times. Now we have a Filipina. If you're more comfortable talking with a Filipina as a mortgage broker, so feel free to join me next week instead of Marianne because she'll be flying to the Philippines. It's good to
Yes.
na emergency documents, not something else. But did
Yeah.
you mm, use the money to pay from your savings? Because when we're talking about equity, pwede mo yung
Equity, pwede
ma-withdraw.
mo yung Oh, that's true. Emergency. Opo. No,
Yeah, emergency.
I'm quite lucky enough to have a really stable income at the moment. And I think, like, as what I said, I always believe there's always a purpose to everything. I may have leave this place, but I'm in a better area at the moment. And I think that, like, being in the Philippines, finishing everything I need to finish after mama passed, I think I have to really come home. I need to help my siblings in the Philippines. But anyway, Ate, what I like is that maybe we can also mention again. Remember how we were planning? If you guys wanted to have a coffee catch up at Ate's Cafe on Sundays, maybe we can do that when I come back from the Philippines.
Well, probably when you come back from the Philippines. So just feel free to flick us a message so we can organize it. I and Mary Ann or Mary Ann herself will organize and invite the guests that you would like to meet in person and have a personal chat with them so
Yes.
they can give you specific advice. We'll be happy to just assist you. We'll just be in the background. No payments involved.
Nope.
We're happy to just connect people. So just flick us a message if you're interested on this, whether on what level of your home buying journey you are at. It doesn't matter. So long as you are keen and you're willing to learn, we'll be happy to assist you, especially in this area, kind of, home buying. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Isa pa pong aabangan ninyo is the next week I'll be having a live podcast with a teacher from India to New Zealand, and now she's in Australia. So my colleague, my math leader back then in my old school, and yeah, I'm still in contact with her. That would be a good discussion to those teachers who are already here in New Zealand and wanting to move to Australia, or those coming from India to New Zealand. So, watch that live podcast next Friday.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Marianne, for your time today.
Thank you, Ate,
Right.
for always inviting me.
We're on this together. So have a good night, everybody. And I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your day thinking about your home equity.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.